Hi. Today comes the promised video about collision layer and mask. Here I have prepared a simple scene to demonstrate this better. I have not set any collisions at all. You can see here a collision layer and mask that Godot has always selected the first box from the default, here in player. And tile map. Enemy. An area 2D. I am demonstrating a simple 2D platformer game. I have my player, the enemy and the tiles. The enemies start to chasing me as soon as I approach him. And when I move away from him he is to stop the chase. As I said, I haven't changed anything in collision layer and mask yet. I now start the program. As you can see, the enemy tries to track me as soon as I enter his area 2D zone. But he stops. As soon as his area 2D comes in contact with the tiles. So you only see a jerk. This is because we have not set any collisions at all. So, let's start setting the collision properly for all objects including the player, tile, and enemy. By the way, this is the script for the enemy. It's exactly the same one I use in my video that's called Enemy Chase the Player. If I click on these three dots at collision for layer or mask, you can see that we have here all the layers. Layer 1, 2, 3, etc. But we can also name the layers ourselves. Let's do that now. Click on Project, then on Project Settings. Add General. Scroll down to Layer Names. Click on 2D Physics. Here, at Layer 1, I give the name Tile Map. At Layer 2, Player. At Layer 3, Enemy. At Layer 4, Enemy Area 2D. Now click on Close. Save your program with Ctrl+S on the keyboard. Click on Player. Then go to Inspector. And click on Collision. If you now click on these three dots again, you can see all your named layer names. Okay, that's done. Now let's start with the assignment. Let's do this in order. We start with tile map. Then player, then enemy and enemy's area 2D. Click on tile map. Then go to inspector and click on collision. At layer, click on the three dots. We have a check in the box for tile map. And we can leave it like this, because that is correct. Here is a little trick, how you always know what to click in layer. Imagine, tile map is a person who has lost their memories, and you try to remember what it is. You say, "Hey tile map. You're a tile map." And then click here on tile map. Now it knows what it is. It's that simple. Now, go to mask and click on the three dots. And uncheck tile map. In mask, we tell with whom the tile map should react. Because the tile map cannot move itself, it cannot collide anywhere. That's why we don't have to check anything at mask. So, tile map is ready. Let's continue with the player. Click on player. Go to inspector again. And click on collision. At layer, click again on these three dots. What do you have to click here now? Remember the trick I told you? At layer, we say what our object is. So we say Hey, player, you're a player. And uncheck tile map. Now the player knows that it is a player. Now, go to mask and click on the three dots. What do you have to click here now? Remember the trick that I told you? I said, with mask, we determine with whom to react. So, with whom should player react? Exactly. The player should react with tile map and with the enemy. So, we have to click a tile map and enemy. That makes sense, I think. So, player is ready. Let's continue with enemy. Click on enemy. Go back to inspector and click on collision. At layer, click again on these three dots. What do you have to click here now? Right. You have to click on enemy. And uncheck the tile map box. But we have a special thing here. We must also click here on enemy area 2D. Why? It's very simple. Because, as you can see, area 2D is in the same folder as enemy. Therefore, we have to click enemy and enemy area 2D. Now, go to mask and click on the three dots. With whom should enemy react now? The enemy should react with tile map. Our enemy is this rectangle. And the rectangle should react with the tile map. Area 2D, the big circle here, should not react with the tile map. Area 2D should only react with the player, but we will get to that in a moment. So, enemy is also finished. We continue with area 2D of enemy. Click on area 2D. Go to inspector and click on collision. At layer, click on these three dots again. Here we have the same scenario as with enemy. So, you have to click enemy and enemy area 2D. Because, as I said, area 2D is in the folder of enemy. And uncheck the tile map box. And what should we now click at mask? Exactly. We have to click on player. And uncheck the tile map box. That's it, we are done. Let's see what happens. Run the program. It works. If we want, we can now give the enemy a gravity. To make it look more like a platformer game, go to your enemy script and add this variable. And in physics process, add this line. Now, give your enemy another area 2D shape. Click on collision shape, then go to inspector. At shape, click on the small arrow. I select rectangle and make it very small. And move it near to the ground. Now I'm run the program. As you can see, the enemy is trying to get to the center of the player's body, so he is still flying. To avoid that, we have to bring the player's center down. Let's do that still. Click on the player's collision shape. Now, move the collision shape up until the bottom edge is on the center of the player. By the way, this small white cross is the center of the player. Do the same with the sprite. Now I'm run the program. Great. We have a properly functional tracking of the enemy. Finally, I would like to give you a simple and useful tip. To understand better how collision layer and mask work together, just try to experiment by intentionally clicking on something wrong at layer or mask just to see what happens and try to understand why it happens. This way, you will quickly understand how to work with layer and mask. To experiment is very helpful. Until next time. Bye.